Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about how to glow from the inside out. And today I have another edition of Epic Empties for you. I have so many empties to show you from this summer. And I am in my brand new apartment. As I told you in my August faves, I was moving and I'm still setting things up. Moving can be chaos, and getting things just the way that you want to can definitely be a process, right? But I started to unpack a lot of my skincare, and I realized I have this huge basket of empties. And I figured, you know what, I think it's time for me to give you my reviews on these empties so that I don't need to hold space for any more empties right now. Let's start fresh. So if you're so ready, give the video a big thumbs up and let's dive into these empties. So this is the Vegreen Daily Moisture Pore Cleansing Oil, and I did name this as one of the monthly favorites in the late spring or early summer. I really did enjoy this cleansing oil. It has a really nice fluidy-like texture. It's not too thin, it's not too thick and medium weight either. It's just kind of nicely in between. Cleanses off makeup and thick sunscreen really nicely, rinses away cleanly. You know, this is a pretty good and fairly affordable cleansing oil. It doesn't technically have any fragrance in it, but there are extracts in here that impart a scent to this, and it actually has a little bit of a fruity sort of scent to it. 8 out of 10, and that's just mainly due to the fact that it's really hard to find this on all K-beauty sites. This is the Cetaphil Gentle Exfoliating Salicylic Acid Cleanser. Now this one's interesting because they do call this a salicylic acid cleanser, right? An exfoliating cleanser, but it does also contain mandelic acid and PHA or gluconolactone, which are two very gentle AHA types of exfoliants, in addition to the salicylic acid, which is a BHA chemical exfoliant. So this is actually a pretty potent exfoliating face wash. And I will let you know that I do use this actually more for my body. It's a little bit too much for my very sensitive face skin, but I do get breakouts often on my chest, my back, and sometimes the tops of my arms. And this works pretty well to keep the skin clear. I will admit this definitely helped to keep the breakouts at bay. And when I emptied this, it was a while ago, my skin started to get a bit congested again, unfortunately. So this definitely works. And because this combination of exfoliants worked so well to keep my skin clear, I'm going to be rating this a 9 out of 10. This is the Cerave Hydrating Foaming Oil Cleanser. I've actually emptied a few bottles of this one already, and this would definitely be one of my top picks for cleansers at the drugstore, especially if you're in the US like I am in the States. If you're trying to find some, good drugstore staples, because K-beauty is getting a little bit more difficult to get right now. We're in this really awkward in-between period, and I know a lot of folks are looking for some alternatives just to kind of ease the stress of the tariffs. So this would definitely be a drugstore option for those of us in the States. It's something that I do enjoy. This is part of that whole trend of oil cleanser, but not oil cleansers. So this is a foaming face wash. It does say it's a foaming oil cleanser. This is not the oil not like the Vegreen oil. The name is so confusing. There is a trend going around of calling a straightforward face wash an oil cleanser, just to denote that it's not something that strips your skin, that it actually is skin respectful, good for your skin barrier, not going to make your skin feel tight and squeaky clean and dehydrated. But truly, it just performs like a gentle foaming face wash. It does its job. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's a pretty good cleanser. This is the Isntree Yam Root Vegan Milk Cleanser, and this bottle definitely got lost in the back of the cabinet. I didn't have very much in it. It was about this much or so. And so I actually just, when I found it, as I was kind of cleaning things up, getting prepared to move, I was like, let me finish this up. And so I did. This is actually a really great milk cleanser. It is not a foaming cleanser. It's not a gel texture. This is a true milky cream texture. It coats your skin in moisture. It's incredibly soothing, comforting, nourishing. If your skin is dry and irritated, this feels amazing. If your skin is often irritated from foaming cleansers because they take away too much moisture, this is amazing. This is actually quite a luxurious milk cleanser as well. There's quite a bit of different oils in here too, because sometimes those milk cleansers they don't have that richness to it. This definitely has a richness to it. So I find that kind of unique. I find it very moisturizing, especially when my skin goes dry in the winter months. So I'm going to be rating this a 10 out of 10. So let's talk about toners and essences. I have a lot to get through. We have the Make Prem Safe Me Relief Essence Toner. I actually just emptied this last night. And you know that this is a holy grail status toner for me. It's incredibly hydrating, really great texture, really, really replenishes dehydrated skin. This is my #1 recommendation if your skin is really thirsty, really dehydrated. My most favorite toner. This is a 10 out of 10. Let's talk about the Klairs Supple Preparation Unscented Toner, because this was a surprise hit of 2025 for me. This is actually a product that I have used many years ago. I want to say 2018 or 2019. Back in that time, I was like, it's fine. This was definitely one of the more hype K-beauty products during that time. And I was just like, I don't understand why people are like so obsessed with this. Like, it's fine. Not bad, just not like mind blowing. And you know, not all toners can be mind blowing, right? But I did actually start to use this again. I think it was like in the late spring and then in the summertime. You saw me using this in a lot of my routines. And I told you, I was like, I kind of changed my mind about this because there's just something about this right now that my skin's really enjoying. I would still say it's a boring type of product. It's not like mind-blowing like Make Prem is for me, and I think that's just due to how my skin takes in all the hydration and stuff. But this definitely like hydrated my skin, made it feel kind of plump, and supple actually is in the name, and I think that that is a pretty good description of this. It does give you just that little bit of bounce. It's not a gel toner, it's still very runny, but there is just a little body to it that just kind of gives you a little bit more extra oomph. I kind of changed my mind around this one, and you know, this is not as popular as it used to be, but I do think it's still a very solid, good toner. I'm going to rate it a 9 out of 10. This is the Round Lab 1025 Dokdo toner, and this is the tiny 100 milliliter bottle, so you know that I slammed through this in just like a week or two. And I emptied this actually a while ago, but I've emptied many bottles of this in the past. I really like this one. It is probably the thinnest toner that we're going to talk about in today's video as far as texture goes. It's very, very watery, very quickly absorbed into the skin. I would say it's pretty good hydration levels, but because it is a little bit thinner, I do think it brings a little less to the skin. And so I am actually going to just give you my rating right away. It's going to be a 9 out of 10, and that's why I think that, you know, I'm very picky about hydration. This is pretty darn close though, and I do enjoy this in the warmer months when my skin actually isn't as dehydrated or as demanding, as thirsty. Dr. Ceuracle Vegan Kombucha Tea Essence. This is a 10 out of 10. This is a long time holy grail. I want to say I've been using this pretty consistently since about 2022 maybe is when I first started to use this, maybe 2021. I really, really like this. This is that like biphase essence where there's that like tea portion that's really watery and hydrating, and then there's that cream portion. It's based with sunflower seed oil. That's very creamy and very rich, and you mix it together and you get this watery but moisturizing essence. And I really like this. It's really balancing, particularly for a combo skin right here, right? Dry U zone and kind of oily T zone. I find the tea in here, the fermented tea, to actually be great for reducing redness. It can be great if I'm getting any irritated breakouts, just kind of take down the inflammation of that, and then again, redness. But even when my complexion just looks a little bit dull, all of the great compounds in the tea that get kind of like super boosted from the fermented process really help to bring a lot more vitality back into my complexion when my skin looks dull or uneven. So not only is this balancing for combo skin, but there's some really great complexion benefits for it as well. And I think that's the reason why I keep kind of consistently coming back to this product time and time again. So definitely holy grail status, 10 out of 10. This is the Numbuzin Vitamin Boosting Essential Toner. This is from the No. 5 Plus line, which I'm a pretty big fan of the No. 5 Plus line. It's all about brightening your skin. And this is a pretty potent blend of multiple brightening ingredients. It has a little bit more of that bouncy kind of like gel-like consistency. It's like a runny gel. It's not like a full-on thick gel. So a little bit more kind of plumping action, but I do find that this absorbs in the skin really nicely. It's not too sticky. And I do actually think it's quite type brightening, especially for a toner product, which traditionally speaking, you know, as far as the concentration of actives in say like a toner or an essence, historically are going to be less than in a serum product. So even though toners can boost your overall brightening routine, they're not usually going to be the main product that you rely on. But even so, I do feel like this actually does bring some really nice brightness into the skin. And I just think the whole line from Numbuzin is pretty good if you're looking for brightening. I think that it's really great. Is this my favorite toner for hydrating the skin? No, not necessarily, but I do like it. And when I do have some brightening needs, and sometimes I even run this over my back and my chest because I told you I get breakouts there. Well, I also get hyperpigmentation from the breakouts too. It does work to brighten up the skin. So if you have needs like that, I would recommend a toner like this one. Like I said, it's not like a holy grail for me, but I have a lot of respect for this product. And because of that, I'm going to rate it a 9 out of 10. It does what it claims to do. This is the Farmacy Honey Milk, and I adore this. I actually started using this last year during the summer, like the late summer months. And then I was waiting for summer to come around so I could break this back out. I really like this. This is an interesting essence, like a hydrating essence type product, because it's a little bit of a thicker texture and it's like a milky gel texture. This isn't like a cream texture, like, you know, like true milk or cream, very, very moisturizing, very rich. This has more of a hydrating gel, like plumpness to it with just a little bit of moisture running through it. And if you've used honey products in the past, you know that honey really does soothe the skin, bring anti-inflammation benefits, anti-redness benefits, and that moisture to the skin that's very calming, but it's not overwhelming. It's not oil-like moisture. It's not heavy moisture. And so it can actually be a really good kind of like moderate moisture choice for folks who need the nourishment but don't need the weight, that don't need the richness. This just really soothes the skin, plumps the skin, hydrates the skin, kiss of moisture to the skin, but it also reduces redness and sensitivity. So 10 out of 10, I really enjoy this product. This is the Aestura Atobarrier 365 Cream Mist, and this is probably one of my favorite products from the Atobarrier 365 line. It really brings a lot of moisture to the skin first and foremost, and a touch of richness to this one that like Farmacy does not have. A little bit more richness in here, ceramide content, very barrier respectful. But I do find with these types of formulas, especially when you have like the shakeout bottles, when you pour it into your palm and then apply it to your face, it is so easy to put on too much. And for a lot of folks, if you put on even just a little bit too much, that's when it gets sticky. That's when it feels overly heavy and rich, and it feels like the rest of your skincare maybe isn't absorbing into your skin because the quantity is just too much. The balance is completely off, right? And so I find the mist application to be the way to go if you want that type of cream toner moisture in your routine, but you sometimes find that it gets too heavy. It might be because you're putting on too much, and figuring out that balance can be kind of tough. So like, why not just like make it easier for yourself and do a cream mist? But I think that this is a good barrier product as well. So I'm going to rate this a 10 out of 10. This is Stratia Aqua Factory, and this is actually a newer product from Stratia. I think it's been out maybe close to a year now. I want to say it came out in fall of 2024. And this has like beta glucan in it, has urea in it. There's a lot of different humectants in here. I always say it's like a master class in humectants that are so good for hydrating your skin. It's a really good formula. It's a runny, watery toner with just a little bit of body to it, just a little bit of plumpness to it. And it feels very, very hydrating, very good, dives deep into the skin. You know, I'm going to rate this a 9 out of 10. And the only reason I took a point off is just it's small. It's a 120 milliliter toner. And for some folks that just like one layer of toner and then they move on with their life, that's good. I'm kind of like a 2-layer, 3-layer type of girly. And then doing that, you know, washing your face 2 times a day, doing skincare 2 times a day. Those layers add up fast. This bottle empties very quickly. So let's talk about serums next. I have a few here for you. This is the Allies of Skin Copper Tripeptide and Ectoin Advanced Repair Serum. What a name. I don't want to like this product. This product's like $200. And full disclosure, I did not pay $200 for this. This was gifted to me by the brand. And I'm mad that I enjoyed this. This is a pretty good peptide product. And so I do think that this is a good preventative serum. I do feel that this definitely rejuvenates the skin, which is, something that peptides and copper peptide in general can do for the skin that people tend to overlook. We're all about that collagen stimulation, but just the fact that it can help with skin tone and texture, and it can just improve and refresh your overall skin quality. I often think that skin quality contributes just as much to healthy, radiant, glowing skin as like being wrinkle-free, or as firm and smooth as you can be. Skin quality is also very important. And I think I'm very confident in saying that this is great for skin quality. And I would go out on a limb and say this is probably a very good product for well-aging prevention. You know what I mean? To help slow down that process on the skin and to help prevent the formation of fine lines and wrinkles through the collagen stimulation and through the skin firming. Definitely. Is it worth $200? That is not a question I can answer for you, because we all have different lifestyles. We have different responsibilities and needs, right? Am I comfortable paying $200 for like any skincare product that would empty in about, this lasts me about 3 months with using it one time a day in my morning routine? Am I? Not really, no. And that's just me. That's where I'm at in my life, finances, responsibilities, right? You know what I'm saying? But if it is in your budget and if you're interested in it, I actually really like this. And I've used some other Allies of Skin peptide serums that aren't really my favorite, but I would, if you have your eye on it, I would recommend trying this one out if it fits your budget. So, I'm going to rate this a 9 out of 10 because it's the price. However, if you're a little bit more budget conscious, this is the Geek and Gorgeous Power Peptide Serum, and this is about $20, which is more my speed personally. And I did buy this bottle. I have had bottles gifted to me by the brand in the past, and just full disclosure, I've also been sponsored by the brand in the past. But I continue to use this and purchase from them because this is a peptide formula and a price for a product that I can really get behind. This is going to be a 10 out of 10. So if you were looking for a budget alternative to Allies of Skin, while this isn't necessarily copper peptides, this is a very good peptide formula, particularly for skin firming. And I will say, I was like, yes, I think this works with Allies of Skin. With Geek and Gorgeous, I kind of almost want to say I know it works because I can feel it working. It actually firms your skin quite quickly, plumps your skin, firms your skin, smooths your skin in just a matter of a few weeks with consistent use. I definitely love the peptide mix that they're using here, and they're using the clinical percentages. So I know oftentimes products will claim, peptides are in there and they don't disclose the percentages. Now, peptides do actually work in like very unimpressively sounding percentages. Sometimes it's, down to 0.001%, and that is an effective percentage. And not every consumer is going to understand that, but the peptides that they're using in here, they're using them at the clinically studied amounts. And that means that when you're using these percentages, these are the ones that showed in studies the actual results for fine lines, wrinkles, skin elasticity, and skin firmness. And this is a product that does this. I also find that this can help with tone and texture as well. And that's just my personal experience with it. It definitely has helped to just bring like a nice freshness to my complexion, but also firmness as well. And it's a great well-aging formula. So this would be my recommendation if you're on a budget. This is Stratia Lipid Gold. You know that I've been using this in all of my skincare routines since 2018. This is not a product that I go back to here and there or only in the winter, like legit. Every single skincare routine that I've posted on YouTube, for the most part, has this product in it. It can be used like a moisturizer. It can be used like a serum. I use it kind of like a second serum kind of in my skincare routine. It's a very flexible type of product. And so 10 out of 10, holy grail status. Let's talk about Numbuzin number 9 plus NAD Bio Lifting-Sil Essence. Yes, I finally emptied this. It's a huge bottle. This is a 50 milliliter essence, but it really, I use this like a serum. It has a little bit of a thicker, kind of creamy like texture. It has kind of like a chewy type of texture to it that really slots into how I like to set up my skincare routines. This slots into my routine more like a serum than it does like an essence for me personally, but you can use it however you want to. And this is another product that has like a lot of peptides in it, has the NAD plus in it. It really is about promoting collagen production. It's about promoting well aging, helping with firming the skin, Lifting-Sil, right? A firmness to the skin. And I think that this is great for complexion rejuvenation. I've talked a lot about skin quality in today's video, and those are the things that I'm really gravitating towards when I'm building out my well-aging routines. It's all about skin quality, the vibrancy, that lit from within type of healthiness, to the skin. And this is a product that does that. I do believe that it helps a bit with firmness. It's not the hardest well-aging product that I've used recently, and that's why I'm going to knock a point off of this and I'm going to go 9 out of 10 with this one. And that's not really the fault of this product necessarily. It's just where this lies in an entire well-aging routine. This would be a booster. This would be a supportive type of product. You definitely want to use your, your retinols, your retinaldehydes, your tretinoins, your vitamin C's, all of that. You want to make sure that you're building in those heavy hitters, and then using a product like this to support that. This helps with the skin quality. Those help with those are more meaningfully helpful for the firming effect. And this is just me being dead honest. And I want to let you also know that I have also done sponsor content around this product with this brand. And I'm just telling you where I personally feel that this lies. Booster product, helper product, supportive player, right? This is the best co-star, but it's not like the main movie star. I have a couple facial oils here. This is the Stratia Fortify Facial Oil. This is a blend of multiple oils. It's very rich. It's omega-3, 6, and 9 fatty acids. It's really focused on helping with your skin barrier. And I really like this one, especially for colder temperatures or when my skin barrier feels totally effed, you know what I mean? This is not only a moisturizing, like I said, a rich oil blend, but it's also a healing and soothing oil blend. And that's what I really think that this shines. This is another one that I've been using for many, many years. I'm going to be, I actually have to put in an order like today, but I'm going to be adding a few bottles of this onto my Stratia order because the colder weather is coming, and this is one of my favorite cold weather oils. So this is the Cocokind chia seed oil. So this is a 100% chia seed oil. It's not a blend like Stratia. And so this is an oil that is high in omega-6 fatty acid, and I find that to be particularly good for barrier issues and dehydrated skin. Dehydrated skin, say it with me, symptom of a weak or damaged moisture barrier, right? Those two are linked. And so an oil with a fatty acid profile like this can be very beneficial. Now, Stratia, this is also very barrier supportive, but it is a blend and there is some omega-9 fatty acid content in here. And that may not always be good for acne prone skin, congestion prone skin. It's not going to be for everybody, and it is a richer oil. I don't know if I rated this one. It is a 10 out of 10 for me personally. Now, the 100% chia seed oil can be a nice lighter alternative to that. It's not as thick as the Stratia. It's a little bit lighter, and it can be a little bit more beneficial for folks who don't know if oils work for them, right? Because it's a lighter texture, but also it's just one oil, so you'll know if this oil works for you or not, whereas with the blend, it's a mixed bag. So I just wanted to kind of lay that one out, but I like chia seed oil, especially for warmer weather. And that's how I use this one. I've used chia seed oil in the past. It's particularly good for my combo dehydrated skin. My first time using it from Cocokind. So let's talk moisturizers. This is the Cetaphil Moisturizing Cream. I love this. This is a great head to toe cream. This is great for the face, but I particularly love it as a body moisturizer. This is really the body moisturizer that I use when I get out of the shower. It's got this amazing texture because it is a cream, but it's not like the type of cream that leaves the white streaks on your body. It's almost like a balmy type of cream, so it actually sinks into your skin without the streaks, and it actually absorbs into damp skin very quickly without that greasy residue or making your skin still feel kind of waxy and still damp, you know what I mean? Like it just absorbs in very, very quickly, but it actually packs a moisturizing punch. It just doesn't leave that layer on top of your skin. Plus it's really, really affordable. This giant tub lasts quite a long time. So that's like a constant repurchase for me, 10 out of 10. Now I do also have the Ilyune Ceramide Ado Concentrate Cream. And this is the previous version. Unfortunately, this was reformulated at the top of 2025, and I do have a review on that. You can check that out. But this is the older version that was a little bit more thick, a little bit more moisturizing, a little bit more occlusive. Yeah, I'm gonna miss this formula. It was a 10 out of 10, but it is discontinued. I will say I do like the new formula too, but it is different. So check out the video, right? This is the Skin 1004 Probio-Cica Enrich Cream. This is, you know what, I'm gonna give this also a 10 out of 10. I really like this one, but I will say this is one I tend to forget about. I know I reviewed this, I wanna say in maybe 2023. And I really liked it then, but for whatever reason, I forgot about it. Then I got another jar of this in spring of this year. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot how much I love this cream. It's rich, it's moisture. I mean, speaking of rich and moisturizing, if you're over the gel creams, this is a kind of a nice rich moisturizing cream. It's probably still not enough for very classically dry skin, but it is starting to become a little bit more in that richer, creamier, luxurious, textury type of category. And so if you like that a little bit more, this is definitely much more nourishing. Oh my God, so many empties. I'm gonna like lose my voice. You know it's a summer empties video because of all the sunscreen empties that I have in here. And I still have quite a few that are probably gonna end up in the next batch of empties. So I'm gonna try to go through these as quickly as I can. So this is the Aven Very High Protection Fragrance-Free Fluid. I do not know if they still make this formula. And this is a European formula. And again, it's probably gonna be really difficult for me to find this in the States, something that lives up to the name. It's very high protection. This has very good protection for the skin. It really helps to guard against hyperpigmentation, unevenness in the sun, darkening of existing sun damage, right? It is a water resistant formula. It's a heavy duty formula. So I really like this. And this is something because I was importing it and it was still fairly expensive. This is something that I would reserve more for like heavy duty sun exposure, right? So hiking, outdoor work, that type of stuff, something I know I'm going to be sweating in, maybe swimming in. That's when I would gravitate towards this. I don't know that they make this formula anymore. And, you know, I was going to do this big haul of European sunscreens just a few months ago, but with the tariffs, the prices have raised significantly. I just noped right on out of there. I was like, I can't do this. So a lot of the sunscreens, the state of sunscreens in the US, let's talk about it, right? Because I've got some K-beauty ones here for you. This is the Haru Haru Black Rice Moisture Airy Fit Daily Sunscreen. You know I've been falling deeply in love with this formula over this last year. I have another bottle open right now. This is a 10 out of 10. I really like this one. It is a moisturizing sunscreen texture, a lot more than your traditional K-beauty sunscreens that have kind of that more wet gel-like texture. This is a more dry moisturizing texture, but this actually, because it doesn't have that wet, glowy finish to it, it actually acts like a makeup primer beautifully. And so this has been my like daily summer sunscreen. Now this isn't something I would use. There's no water resistance, so I'm not going to use this when I'm sweating or outside for a prolonged period of time. But my daily one, my makeup actually sticks to this really nicely. It doesn't shift around. It actually works as a makeup primer beautifully. I have two sunscreens here from Beauty of Jason. So one is the Relief Sun Rice Plus Probiotics, like the original sunscreen. And then I have the Relief Sun Aqua Fresh version here. Now, both of these are chemical sunscreens. The original one, you know, the one that's not blue, right? This one has a little bit more of a creamier, moisturizing, heavier kind of feel to it. And then the Aqua Fresh version is a much lighter, less dewy type of sunscreen finish to it. So lighter one, a little bit more creamy, traditional medium weight one. And I like both of these. The Aqua Fresh is something that came out, this was last year already. My goodness. this 2025 is just flying by. Like, I can't even believe it. But the Aqua Fresh came out about a year ago, and I really do like this one because it is a lighter expression of this one. Both of these are the Korean formulas, by the way, and the state of sunscreen in the US. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get my hands on these formulas anymore. I don't even know what's going on, you guys. I'm like, should I even be talking about these sunscreens right now? I know not everybody lives in the United States. I would say, you know, the Rice Plus Probiotics is, for me, it's a 10 out of 10 sunscreen. I think it's really, really good. It is quite moisturizing though, so it's not for everybody. The Aqua Fresh, I also really like this one. I'm going to give it like a 9 out of 10. I know some folks get pilling with this. I don't. But that doesn't mean that it's not happening. I'm just saying I don't personally experience it, but I like to honor other people's experiences. So I know some people don't love this because of the pilling. Some people get it, some people don't. I don't know what causes that, but it is an issue that can occur with this one. So I'm going to knock a point off of this one. So this is the VT PDRN Essence Glow Sun Packed. And this is something that I carried with me as just something to touch up sunscreen over the summer. This is not something that offers a ton of protection. This is, I think, SPF 50 and PA+3, yeah. But also just the application format. It's like a cushion foundation. I'll show you. It's like a cushion foundation. So you just use the cushion and then you tap it into your skin. Don't wipe it, just tap it right on top of makeup, or even if you're not wearing makeup, just tap it right on. And you do want to go over your skin a few times just to make sure you get even coverage. But the application method, it almost definitely ensures that you're going to miss certain spots. But all that being said, this is really the easiest way to top off, and that's what I'm really emphasizing here, top off sunscreen protection when you're wearing makeup. So, you know, do your skincare routine, put your sunscreen on, put your makeup on, and then when you're ready to reapply, like in the middle of the day or something, top it off with this. I would not rely on this as your main sunscreen. You're just not going to get as much protection. And so that's how I use this. I carry this in my purse, and there is a mirror, so you can use it like a compact as well. This is not empty, but it is something that I accidentally left in the car outside for a couple days. So the car gets super hot, right? Likely the sunscreen formula got compromised because of that hot environment. So I actually was like, you know, I don't think that this is better safe than sorry, right? Probably isn't really all that great anymore. So I did stop using it. But I had another one, so I just started using that one instead. And it just makes life easier. You know what I mean? I'm gonna rate this an 8 out of 10 just because of the fact that it's not offering the most protection, but I'm definitely in the camp that something is better than nothing. This is the Medic 8 Advanced Day Ultimate Protect Age-Defying Moisturizer Sunscreen with, I don't even know what this is called. What is this called? I'm just reading the bottle, and that is just way too long of a name. This is the Medic 8 Advanced Day Ultimate Protect Sunscreen. This is SPF 50+. This is another European formula with the newer generation chemical filters. Not sure about the state of the US sunscreen debacle, whatever you want to call it, right? It's probably not something that we can access right now. But anyways, this is a nice sunscreen. It's not my favorite. It is something that has a strong sunscreen-like smell, and it is something that is a bit greasy, not really greasy, not like hardcore heavy duty, but just a little greasy that it felt a bit heavy on my face. So I actually just started using it on my neck and chest. And I actually really liked it for that because it didn't feel too greasy there. It just felt like too much with the rest of the skincare products that I personally like to use. But it is actually a pretty nice sunscreen. It just has a strong sunscreen smell to it. So just because it didn't really wow me one way or the other, I'm going to give this like a 7 out of 10. I am tired. I feel like I earned a cookie. I am feeling very, very accomplished because you know what that means. I can get rid of this entire basket of empties, and I'm really glad that I was able to do this with you here in my new living room. Definitely let me know if you've emptied anything recently. What's your review? How many stars would you give it? Let me know in the comments. If you love this video and you want to see more skincare reviews from me, more empties videos, definitely come join our skincare community by hitting subscribe. subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop. I am literally going to go eat that cookie right now. So I love you so much. Thanks for being here with me today. I just want to encourage you to keep shining your light, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.